Newcomers continue to step to the mic. We learn a little bit more about their stories, and that helps obviously inform you in the way that you view these guys when you begin to see them in the practice reports and the videos that are released in spring football and on into the fall. So we'll start with that. We'll start with Lolohea.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. This guy is a legendary coach in Hawaii, Coach Levi. He wanted to give back to the community by going back home and bring some of the guys that want to chase their American dream. So he brought 9 of us to Hawaii for high school and football. And then after 3 years, the high school got shut down, and then we all go our own ways. And then he found his high school in San Bernardino and brought me there for my senior year. And then I went to Oregon State after that. There's no football back home. Where I'm from, we grew up playing rugby. Football wasn't around me until I get here to the state. I think I was 16 years old when I started learning about what football was. But yeah, football wasn't around me when I was little. So the transition was hard but easy because I grew up playing rugby. So the physicality of the game is easy for me to transition, but other than learning the playbooks, the rules for rugby, putting the helmet, shoulder pads on, that was the toughest part for me. But as I get used to it, now I love football.
So how many of those 9 guys, do you know how many of them made it or to college football or stuck with football?
I'm the only one left. Really? Yeah. I love all the guys, but it was hard. We all left home when we was 16 years old, left the whole family still back in the island. But everybody has to do their own sacrifice to get where we at. But thank God I'm still here. My parents never left the island. They never see me. They never see me play the game, and they don't understand what football was. But it's been tough. But I train myself to don't think about it too much. But yeah, now that I'm used to moving around. I left home when I was 16 and left my parents back thousands of miles behind. Now I'm getting to a point that I'm just used to it already. So yeah.
It may end up being the easiest guy in the world to root for, right? I mean, who doesn't hear that story and think immediately, "Oh my goodness." You talk about sacrifice. We always bring up sacrifice as it pertains to student athletes. We talk about the things they give up in order to play, in order to try to earn a scholarship and, to go away to school and ultimately chase a dream and maybe someday end up in the NFL. But you got a kid who leaves his parents behind, 16 years old. He's one of 9 guys that go away to play football. Hawaii school closes down, shuts down. Now, can you imagine? School shuts down that you went to while you're pursuing this. Again, you're away from your parents. You still want to pursue it. You end up in San Bernardino, which is even further away, and you're still on your own. You've been on your own since 16. You're there for a year. You end up at Oregon State, and now you're in Tallahassee, Florida. Your parents have never seen you play. They've never seen you play. And you're, again, pursuing the ultimate dream. Who doesn't want to see that guy have an incredible season, get paid, and be able to alter his family's, generationally, his family's future? It's unreal to think about. And you could see as he answers those questions, the real humanity in that, right? As he's thinking about it, as he's asked about the other, so he's one of 9 guys. The other 8, as he says, he still loves. They're no longer playing, and you can see him contemplating what that means, and you can see what it meant to him to talk about the folks that are thousands of miles away. It's uplifting. I think it's motivational as all hell. Let's hope that obviously very soon they'll be able to get his parents to a game. Agreed. It would be amazing. Let's also hope that he remains healthy, works hard, and if we're going to remove all the heartwarming stuff and just talk about what we've seen from him so far as a football player, he's good. He's legit. That was a good get. Story aside, that was a good get for Florida State.
Well, and he said a couple of things in terms of what he came here to do. It was development. That's what drove him to Florida State, which that's, the reputation is changing here. What John Papuchis was able to do to harness and advance the abilities of Jermaine Johnson and Jared Verse, what's happening with Patrick Payton right now in terms of development. The reputation is building. Sione said that, number one, he wants to be a pass rusher, much more so than he has been. He's good against the run, but he needs to work on the pass rush. The number two, it came down to USC and Florida State, and it was twofold. Academically speaking, Florida State was able to accept more of his credits than USC was, so he could be farther along in terms of his journey towards a degree. But then he said once he came here and he saw the presentation on development, he knew that development at Florida State at defensive end was far more advanced than that of USC. So that's the reason he came here. My wonder is, at the end of this, if his parents can make it to a game, and come on, we can make this work. Let's go. Whoever needs to do it, you can do it. I just wonder if Ireland is the easier flight or if Tallahassee is the easier. I feel like Ireland in August may be the easier trip to make.
It's certainly the better weather.
I don't know about from their perspective.
I don't know if they feel like that. I feel like that. Well, then fine. Get him here for the BC game. It'll be 100. Come on, let's go. And it kind of stinks that if you were able to do it, they're going to come and see a stadium that's been destroyed. They won't get a sense of what this place is like. They're going to walk in and go, so you chose this dump to come and play? I mean, yeah, it's brutal. But listen, I would also say this. He's seen USC. He's got a head on his shoulders. It probably didn't take talking to our coaches to deduce. I mean, there's evidence all around you that they don't defend anybody at Southern Cal.
That is correct. That reputation should precede itself as well about what USC does not do on defense. And he's played in that conference. He should know by looking at the box scores every week if he bothered to check what they gave up 50 again, huh? Okay. I think I might want to go somewhere else. Maybe I'll go to Florida State where they damn near shut people out towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. My hope is that for the parents' trip, because I'm going to assume it's going to happen. Should they want to? If they're health-wise able to, whatever it is, it's going to happen. Just for all of us and all of our constitutions, let's do it before senior night, because there would not be a dry eye in the house if that was the case, if they made it for that particular ceremony. Remember Brian Angola, a.k.a. Angola Road Ass, who had his mom surprise him. Nobody knew that was coming, and she had arrived from Columbia, and Leonard Hamilton barely kept it together on the court.
Oh, it was amazing.
This is now already more eyes are on this situation. Let's hope that young man has a big smile on his face for a lot of reasons this season, but one of which is parents get to see this weird sport that they know nothing about called American football.
Kam Davis next on deck here in the JCS. Now, you can go back and look at all the interviews, including Marvin Jones Jr. and others, but I wanted to get you Kam Davis since last week. We talked about Kam, and, I mean, he looks like Herschel Walker. Like, he's that kind of built already, and I was obviously fawning over Kam Davis last week and talking about people don't look like that at that age and how much I think he can help this team. Let's hear from Kam Davis.
What's more fun? Is it more fun running somebody over? Is it more fun juking somebody, run by them?
To be honest, it's more fun just getting the end zone. But I would probably say juking someone on the field. I laugh a lot when I run, so just being able to laugh while I'm running and then juking somebody, like laughing at them mid-play, I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah, you see, that's more fun for him, but it's much more fun, Kam, for the rest of us to watch you run over people. But scoring touchdowns, however you do it, whether that's running around them or over them, is really ultimately the goal, and that is fine. And also, can I say that, again, I don't know. I'm not trying to start a conspiracy. But again, in addition to looking like a grown-ass man who's been lifting weights for 25 years, despite being 18, he also has the voice of like Barry White. So what is going on here? Are we sure he's not 32 years old, married with kids, and just took a detour from like being a mechanic to deciding he wanted to play in the NFL? And he's got eligibility left. What's going on there? It's crazy.
Yeah. Is he the Danny Almonte of college football? Is that what you're getting at here? Yeah.
You can be 40 and play college football. Chris Winkie did, but I mean, good Lord.
So his interview is excellent. I pulled that clip specifically because I just think it's hilarious, and no, analogy or pun intended, that he laughs as he plays the game. It's like Gronk. You see that when Gronk is mic'd up on Sundays in the NFL, and you hear him laughing as he's getting hit. And sometimes he'd get trucked, and he's just laughing at the defender, the linebacker who's 240 and jacked who hits him. He loves the game. I think that's awesome here. Again, the full interview is available, and you should watch the whole thing. It's great. But that Kam Davis jukes people and laughs in their face as he's making them miss and fall to the ground. And I'm sure he laughs at them too if he lowers his shoulder and runs them over. That is exactly the mentality that you want out of a player like that position, running back.